Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of bad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throbbing my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too feeble and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly podcast coming to you May 14th, 2024. I don't know if I have a voice anymore because I feel like I'm losing my voice now today. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's allergies or this. I'll deal with you two chuckle fucks here now for the next hour or two.
Sorry, the ambulance is arriving.
You're a little bitch.
I missed that little guy. Hi, soundboard. How you doing?
When you invite Jim, you invite the soundboard.
Exactly. He comes in a package.
You're goddamn right I did!
Speaking of Jim's package. Hi, Jim.
Hi, how are you?
That was awkward, right? Yeah, a little bit.
It's been awkward since I jumped in the video tonight. I literally just
what did I say? The word splooging?
Yeah, something about
So
splooging somewhere. I'll let you say where if you want.
We don't need to talk about where, but we'll give the audience the context. When we're doing the pre-bake here, and Jim came in a little bit late, which is different from normal form. Let's be honest.
It is,
But so we were talking about EJ trying to avoid having a third child, and I was telling him to stop being a bitch and get snipped, and I was explaining the benefits therein, and you walked in right at the wrong time, or virtually walked in right at the wrong time to hear the word splooge, and the world was done at that point.
So you missed it.
Conversations like that, gentlemen, that bring us here for the file for content.
That's right.
You missed the part because but my wife, she last week she goes, I was on Walmart. She goes, by the way, Walmart can get me a pregnancy test. I'm like, what? Like, what?
Where the fuck, soundboard guy?
We discussed this already. We're not doing this for the third time. You see our two we have right here? That's enough.
I'll say this for those that are in EJ's shoes.
What'd you do?
What I do? Apparently I splooge. I don't know. Go.
But
what the fuck happened?
Literally. No, but you see, here's the thing, folks. I know this is supposed to be a non-sports related episode, but I'll use the analogy. If you're like EJ and you got two kids and you weren't taken care of, you're going from man to man to zone defense like that. I'm just telling you.
There you go.
I'm a little bitch. I'm scared of
You're a little bitch.
Apparently,
I just said that, Jim, and soundboard.
Apparently, you're more scared of that than you are a third kid. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I dealt with you this morning, Kyle. How you doing?
Buy a stress ball. Look at the ceiling. It'll be over in like 15 minutes, I think. I haven't had it done, so I don't know.
Yeah, you want to talk? You want to talk? You said to talk like you know what the fuck you're talking about.
So what? I also don't have kids.
In the interest of doing the men's health PSA here, it doesn't last that long. It doesn't really hurt, and the air quotes pain is in the recovery. Right. And that doesn't last all that long if you take care of yourself properly. If you do something and be a dumbass like my dad did and bowl the next day,
EJ, just make sure you buy the cone so you can't lick it, in the couple days after surgery. That's how it works, right? I don't know. I'm not a doctor either.
But you did say in the Holiday Inn Express. By the way,
I did in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Don't recommend it, though. Don't recommend it.
Wait.
What? That ad? Thank you, Jim. Fuck.
It was a dated hotel. You could tell it had like a very cheap renovation lately. If I were to stay at that, not a bad exit, plenty of hotels, places to eat. I would probably hit like the Hampton Inn or the True that is across the street.
This could be practical. I could go see. I may take myself over there in that general part of the country to go see a billboard with our friend Tokyo Jameson on it live there.
There you go. Not a bad stop, right? It was right off 95, I think. But yeah, just it was. I wouldn't have stayed there again. It was not a 5-star experience.
So quickly, because I know EJ is such a great host, but I'm still going to hijack this portion. For those that are wondering,
this is open. This is open season. I don't give a fuck.
For those that are wondering what in the entire hell is going on right now, this is going to be the filed for content edition of the Earnestly Speaking podcast here. Yeah. And what this is, what was that, buddy?
Bing.
Bing. Thank you, sir.
Well, soundboard. Hello.
Yeah, fuck, soundboard.
Well, EJ, if Kyle's doing your own job, I'm not going to give it a soundboard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. Because I'm a scab, is that it?
Well, I mean, Jim, this is the democracy here.
It seems more like a communist movement here, comrade.
I mean, Jim, you'll love that. You know how woke you are.
That's right.
No, he wants communism. That's right. Anyways, even though he was campaigning for capitalism, whole other question. But
greed is good.
Greed, for lack of a better word. No, but the filed for content concept is the three of us as a trio of chuckle fucks here speak to each other in a group text. And there's all sorts of stuff where EJ claims he's going to have a show about it, be it politics or movies or what. Allegedly. Thank you, Jim. Well played. I guess I am not a scab anymore. You got replaced, bitch.
I'll admit, though, I got bad because like we haven't done a show like this with us three. Now, look, we work together with Jim on the whole podcast. Jim's on the show quite a few times, whether it be on this show, the wrestling podcast I do, or Kyle's show, whatever. So we're always working around. But this thing here, we haven't done. Honestly, I was checking my phone a year, literally this month.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, so I get it. So the things I saved, I thought I saved. I didn't save them.
But the concept for file for content, for those that give a shit about actual structure, we know Ernest doesn't. If you listen to
this thing that you have
again
in your pocket all the time has a note.
No.
It has a notes app.
That's what not understanding though. I had notes and I actually deleted the old notes from last year.
You suck,
Jim. He doesn't need notes.
You suck. Yeah.
I use my notepads all the time.
You don't need it. We were putting hashtag filed for content throughout the entire fucking thread. Step your goddamn game up.
When we talk so much on that damn text, though, you have to go fishing back like,
hurt
my finger.
Yeah, just like I watch the actual games and you don't. Anyways, so
is that beer warm? I hope we fucking choking that thing.
I meant football, though. No, listen.
I know what you meant, Dick.
For the audience, for all the shit I talk, I know that EJ watches more basketball than I do.
Allegedly.
And of course he's watching that much basketball. How else can he live with the fact that his kids are constantly dunking on him? But
it's so true. It is. I've seen it in person now.
We have.
Yeah, you have seen it in
person. That's a fact.
Which is a good way to kick off this episode because you're talking about your trip to South Carolina. That was on your trek here to Florida, right? If I'm mistaken. Mm-hmm. We all met for the first time.
Yeah, I was on the way down
a month ago. Almost a month ago.
Yes,
in person. Yeah. That was a fun experience. Jim, have you ever met people you known for like years upon years, like through this medium that you probably just met, aside from us, of course, that you met years later, like that?
I mean, really, it was you guys and Mike and Joe.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've met anybody else in person from this universe.
That you didn't already know.
Yeah. No, I don't believe I have. Yeah, just you guys, and then like I said, Mike and Joe. I met them first at WrestleMania, and then of course Mike joined the meetup in Disney. But yeah, this was a first. It was really. Yeah, it was a crazy month because, I mean, I had WrestleMania and met those guys to start April, and then came to Florida and met all you assholes. And
chuckle fucks.
It was awesome. It really was.
No, it was a lot of fun. Really a lot of fun, man. I mean, the fact that was Kyle last there? No, Matt was last.
Well, technically, Matt was last.
Right.
Kyle was the last, of the that was actually meeting for lunch. Matt and his family just joined.
Right.
once they got done with their like character brunch thing. But
I mean, listen, and I know you had little control over it, but draft weekend probably not the best time. But you know, I made it work. And it's funny too, like, so where you guys were, you may not know this, Jim, was downtown Disney. And now it's called Disney Springs. And when it was downtown Disney, I'm like, oh, there's Cirque du Soleil, whatever, I'll park here and just, you know, walk in. Well, you can't just walk the fuck in.
Nope.
Now you got to go through a designated security area and all this other Mayday. So here my dumb ass is walking, realizing I'm heading to an employee area. There's a fucking Disney security guard, which, folks, for those who don't know, yes, Disney in and of itself is technically its own jurisdiction. Look up Lake Buena Vista sometime. Just saying. And then and yeah, that I looked at my phone and like saw, okay, I didn't screw this up. I see the bowling alley right there, and then I see the sign that says cast members only. Like, fuck. And so I walk over the
Wait, you're not a cast member?
I was actually technically never a Disney cast member. Yeah. I got people. My wife was. My big brother in my fraternity was, but
if they ever needed Maui, you're the perfect one, obviously.
Actually, a guy I went to high school with that I used to play in a band with was a cast member for a while. He lives in New Orleans now, but
okay.
Yeah, he was a cast member for years.
No, I've go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I say if you're gonna make it a visual element, I would have sent you the Maui costume picture. Shit,
like, it's just great. Shit's great, man. What can I say?
You're welcome. Yeah, exactly. I did that. I don't know if you two are familiar with Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, but like I was captain for Halloween one year. Well, check it out. I would say it's from the writer's strike, but now that would be confusing. I mean, no, the other one, the previous one.
Part 1.
What can I say except you're welcome?
That's right. And hey, listen, anytime you can be a man who can pull off a costume that's previously worn by Nathan Fillion, you feel good about yourself. So there you go.
Yeah. No, but it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. We met up at what's it called again? The place called
Splitsville.
Thank you, Splitsville. Yeah, the bowling alley, which is overpriced as fuck, for the record.
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm glad we found out about the pricing of the bowling before we just signed off on that, because like, God, no way. Like, I obviously everything in Disney is conveniently priced for Disney. Not so conveniently for everybody else, but yeah, I would not have been thrilled with, what was it, like $30 some odd a person.
Oh, shit, I thought it was only 27 a game.
I forget. It was a lot. It was too much.
Yeah, definitely.
When I can like go, and I get you're in Disney, but like when I can go the 10 minutes that way and bowl for like $8.
I have a love-hate with Disney. I have a love-hate that place.
It's an abusive relationship, and
it really is. It really is. The wallet fucking hates it. I'll tell you that.
I mean, it's easier for me because I'm, this was literally the first time I had been there in 22 years.
Man, you're old.
Yeah, you're older. It just
no, Kyle's oldest.
A bag of dicks to all you sons of bitches.
I love how Jim makes fun of me about being old, but yet Kyle's older than me.
Yeah, but because he knows
Kyle doesn't call me old.
A, B, I could still take you both to the hole. So I don't want to hear that bullshit.
You'll be 39 in July, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm to 40, but I'm gonna ream your ass next year when you get 40, brother.
And I'll remind you once again that you're older.
Well, also, and a Rangers fan too, right?
Well, allegedly. But
allegedly,
that we came down this year. We already are planning or starting to plan our next trip, which will probably be a couple years. But it's easier for me to justify the prices because, like, for us, it is a once every couple of years, like, major getaway. Like when you guys, being closer, and EJ, I know your family has passes. Like, I don't know that I could financially deal with that, because that is it is a lot.
My wife has gone to Disney once since that trip. Okay, she went last Thursday. She's going with the kids again in 2 weeks. and then I'm going to go with her probably in mid-June.
Jesus H. Christ.
So how far do you guys actually have? I don't know that I even made that connection.
We are 2.5 hours away from Orlando.
Okay. All right. So that's okay. That's basically the distance I am to like Baltimore, DC.
Yeah, you're not south. You're not south. Like you're not.
No, I'm West Palm.
Because all this time I thought you were like Miami-ish. Okay.
No, not even close. Miami's like another hour.
Excuses for having met me. The list of people,
I knew this was coming.
the list of people who met me in person before Ernest EJ.
Run the list down. Bing, go.
GWSTWLIO.
He called you brown.
Raphael, he did call me brown.
He did call you dark and tan.
Raphael, I'm darker than he is. Fuck it. Like let's call it what it is.
Yeah, he really is.
On the season, I'm darker than you, Trump. Anyways.
Allegedly.
Don't be rude.
Don't be rude. There we go.
GWSTWLIO, Raphael Haynes, Mike Patton, Tokyo James.
Wait, you met a general already?
Yeah, he came.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Bro, Disney bitch. Okay. They all come up in this humpy bumpy.
And this motherfucker don't go.
Just saying.
I'm bad.
EJ, I'm just saying, I live like it took us like close to 16 hours in total
for those
to
who
drive there, and I met Kyle the same time you did.
By the way, the list is still going for those who are wondering. He's
like, I'm not done yet.
Dodged it. Let's
Who
see.
Else? Tokyo. You said Tokyo, right?
Actually, yeah. So Super Bowl people. Yeah, I said Tokyo. Karita Parks.
TD. Turn Davenport.
Haynes, right? Who else?
Teron Davenport.
Teron Davenport. I did meet before you in person. Absolutely.
Emery Hunt too.
Emery Hunt. Correct.
You met all the cool black people before we met this one.
He's not wrong. I meant all the black people.
Well, he got
cooler than me.
Cool out of the way to settle on you.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
exhaust that first, and you meet this.
I didn't get the cool completely out of the way. I still have yet to meet up with Twan Staley and Brandon Howard in person.
And that's why I got you on. I've met Twan Staley numerous times actually when he lived on.
Twan Staley and I were set to meet up, but he ended up at let's just say a gathering where he was talking to. I won't say it on the air, but let's just say some important NFL brass that may or may not have been in or around a general vicinity of a roast recently. Okay. But so, yeah, I get why he ditched me. I'm not a punk. Okay.
That's fair.
I think of all the folks in this podcasting, thing outside of you guys, I think I met Antoine Steele the most. I think we've probably at least 3 or 4 times. We drank a couple times
for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, let the record show everybody I've listed, I have also had frosty adult beverages with. D. Will, I met him out in California.
I met D. Will. No, I not met D. Will. Oh my God, no. D. Will and I were supposed to hang out in California. I went there years ago, and just something didn't work out.
Didn't hook up, huh? Yeah,
shit happened.
Yeah, no,
like you and I in Orlando 2 years ago.
Motherfucker.
You know what? Honestly, I'm a horrible friend. If you guys want to unfriend me, go right ahead, guys. I am a horrible friend. I'm a horrible friend.
Finally, we're free.
Gentlemen, I forgot the low-hanging fruit. Of course, Mike the Burn Bernier. Fucking hello.
That was the most hurtful one of all. This bitch sends me a fucking text.
I said,
Kyle.
Listen,
I'm like, bitch, you hadn't known Kyle was from me, first off.
What was in the text?
Motherfucker, doesn't Mike also live like right near you?
Like literally,
you have so you literally have no excuse.
Jim, they used to work at the same place together, bro. It gets worse. Tell him what was in that text there, EJ Christian. He says as he sips his beer.
I hate you. Do you know do you know who else was upset about that shit too? My wife.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Are you serious? You met him before you did? God, it's terrible.
Like, I'm pretty.
Hope she roasted you for about 10 minutes after that,
bro. Listen,
of course she did.
His wife, as beautiful she is as a short Jewish woman, though, jumped up and dunked on her as Christian on that shit. Let me tell you.
Always. but that's also since that's 18 years in running now.
I'll say we've all seen it live and we've heard the audio from just outside the security van.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a horrible friend. And I've met some of the people you've mentioned. I met G Stelio in New York. You met G Stelio in New York too, also. So you met G twice, actually.
Actually, technically speaking, G flew here first, and
I remember that.
there later. Yes.
Yeah. And
Big,
you met him in New York.
this is filed for content, fool. We're supposed to be telling the people who may not. You fuck. God. Shit.
No,
I love when Kyle swears and then he does the thing because like he's a better person than us and doesn't like use those adult words on his show. So like he'll say it and then his brain's like, "Don't say that," and then he's like, "Wait, I remember where I am. You guys fucking
what
suck."
just happened. I'm glad you picked that up.
he always pause and like, "Oh wait, I can say on this show."
He's like,
and
"Fuck!
this,
Oh shit! I
and
shouldn't have
then-
said that. Ah, look where the fuck I am."
Yeah.
Well, and see, that's the thing. You got EJ's goofy fucking whatever face this is that's staring at me here to remind me. You can say it, Cal. It's okay.
It'll be okay. God, it is creepy.
I
I don't know which one is more lifelike though, the real EJ or the cartoon one in the corner. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Cheekbones.
What the cartoon captures very well is your general kind of tone and appearance. You're unassuming. You're happy. It's the right shade. It reminds me that I've been indoors way too much because I'm not darker than that shade. But the one thing it does is it makes you look like a Cowboys fan. But let me tell you why. No, EJ Christian, you know where this is going. Be good. What the fucking no? Stop it! Don't get the thing. Don't get the thing. No one gives a fuck.
Two of them.
EJ Christian, I want you to take your face from behind the microphone.
Look, stealing license plates off of somebody else's car and keeping them in your van does not prove anything.
But this is what proves he's a Giants fan, Jim. Okay, take your face out from behind the microphone and smile nice and wide.
What's
Go on the Strahan.
The Strahan gap? Yeah. Yeah.
That's the proof he's a Giants fan.
Yes, that's right. But all in all, we had a phenomenal time. It was a great. I wish it could have gone longer, obviously. But
Dude, I was there a week and it wasn't long enough.
Yeah. Now, do Jim? Do you vacation like you vacation once a year, but you don't do something like this?
No. This is the first time we've done a trip like this in 8 years.
Oh wow!
Now the pandemic derailed. We would have taken a trip sooner than that.
Right.
We had taken a big trip for our 5-year anniversary in 2016. We probably would have done something for 10 years in 2011, but thanks COVID for that. But yeah, usually we we go to like the Delaware Shore for a week. It's only a couple hours away from us.
Mm-hmm.
But we do every couple of years is kind of the idea is we want to go on like a bigger trip. And yeah, I mean, honestly, we're already spitballing coming back down in 2 years because I absolutely fell in love with it.
To Orlando?
Yeah, to Disney.
Okay, interesting. 40th, interesting.
Well, technically it'd be my 41st.
Listen.
2 years, right.
Listen. Here's what I could tell you, and here's where I could sympathize with you. No, it's not anything as communist and collective as a wedding anniversary. This is all capitalism, selfishness. The pandemic cost me my 40th birthday party that I was promised by a
Mine too.
40th birthday? Shut up.
Mine too. Yeah, mine too. 2020, literally, the pandemic really hit 2 months into my birthday.
Hey, stop being so selfish. This is all about me right now. Fuck it. No, but if you got a story like this, please feel free to follow up. Joking aside.
No, go ahead.
I was set to do the Inception bomb with my buddies. Who here knows what the Inception bomb is?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what exactly it is. I've heard of it.
Look up the Tipsy Bartender. It's this Islander dude. It's where I first saw it. It's really cool. And I'll use his I'll do my voice acting skill. It's a shot within a shot within a shot. So the way it was originally advertised. Now, let me say the way I would do it, because the shot he uses was fucking terrible. I'm not drinking Jaeger. Eat a dick. Okay? Yeah, exactly. I don't even do black licorice. By the way, so I went to Sweden in like just after I graduated college, right? And obviously they don't speak English everywhere. They speak English in a lot of places, but the signs are not in English. And I went to an ice cream shop, as one normally does. And I saw this ice cream cone that had some dark sprinkles on the top. I'm like, all right, ice cream cone with chocolate sprinkles. Let's fucking go. I take a bite into this thing and get whiplashed by the fact that these sprinkles were chocolate. It was black licorice on the top.
Oh.
Now, as much as I'm anti-black licorice, the fuck are we? Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's like, what is happening?
No, good hosting there, EJ Christian.
Yeah.
But not that licorice on ice cream is bad, but when you're expecting chocolate, it slaps you, like it open-handed slaps you in the mouth. Like, it's crazy. But anyways, so yeah, this is if you're looking at it here, what you have first is a shot that you would take straight. Your choice, whatever.
Right.
And then it recommends a Jaeger bomb. Now, me being me, the bomb would have to be an Irish car bomb.
Okay.
If you're offended, sorry, British people, but whatever.
Fuck your feelings.
Fuck your feelings. Yeah, exactly.
Whoa. Clip that. Freaking 2603. Woke Jim says, fuck. It has more liquid than this shot could ever have, right? But what you have here is the reason, I think the reason they do, I don't know the reason they do the Jaeger bomb, fuck them. But, and then the final shot is a cactus cooler, right? So it's a pitcher with 2 shot glasses in it. Excuse me. It's a pitcher with 2 rocks glasses in it. And then the rocks glasses are set to where it has 2 shot glasses in it. You pull 1 shot glass, the first one drops. All right. So you hit the shot, then you chug the next shot, and then you finish the cactus cooler. Thus, a shot within a shot within a shot.
So this is actually a good example of that here, this picture here in this.
Yeah, it's a proper example of it, right?
That's intense.
But
whiskey, where you
listen, Jim, you can attest that you've seen me in person. I'm a large human being. Bring it the fuck up.
You're one of the people. You're one of the few people in my life that makes me feel awkward.
I was looking forward to that too. I say Jim and Kyle in person. I gotta see this.
I never know how to exist around people taller than me, because like it's a very unfamiliar feeling.
Well, Jim, if I may, your big man hug was fantastic. The only person, listen, when I met Tokyo Jameson, and he's cut a bunch of weight since then, like TJ was over 600 pounds when I met him. And
who was that? Who was that big?
Yes.
I think it was that. I know it was big, but I think it was that big.
Bro, like the only way I ever knew he was that big was like when he was talking to me. I'm like, bro, this guy cut more weight than fucking Ralphie May. This is insane.
Jesus.
You know, and I'm like, so the big man hug he and I had like registered on the Richter scale. You weren't going to touch that, Jim. But the big man hug we had was quite rather proper. And if you were awkward dealing with another big man, God damn it, you faked the shit out of it real nice.
Well, no, it's not. I don't know if awkward's necessarily the right word, but I'm so used to having to not look straight eye to eye with people.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's because most people in my life are at least probably about 4 inches shorter than me, if not more.
Listen, it's the closest thing you've had to a relaxed neck without your wife being under the table. Anyways.
Oh my God.
And that's why I don't have kids.
Anyways, I don't know how the fuck you're going to top that, but we'll find it. Hey, I know what, I have some things in the bag ready in case we need to move the conversation in a direction. Because
such as what?
For all the shit I talk on EJ, this is the perfect opportunity for me to get Jim to answer for his Twitter feed.
Like, go ahead. Oh my God.
For 30 seconds. Jim got on defense real fast. If you saw the video, I have never seen Jim with a more.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna come at me, I gotta be ready.
No. Listen, I'm not gonna do anything trite like be like, why you gotta hate on white people singing "God Bless the USA" at a wedding? Why you gotta assume they're Trumpers? Why you gotta do that, Jim?
Well, look,
here comes the back pedal.
It doesn't take much to put the math together, Kyle. And when I see two, I can make 4 real quick. That's all I'm saying.
But all they're alleging is that there were any votes. I don't even believe it to be true. I'm saying this simply to get on Jim's case. Anyways, So okay, so what are the 2 and 2 that you see that is EJ becoming 4 because he's a black Trumper? What are we doing here?
I'm not a Trumper. Get out of here. Speaking of Trumper, here's Big Jim's Twitter feeder here.
Oh Jesus Christ!
What is he complaining about today? Goalie interference. Wow.
Oh, okay, by the way, officials, Jim, are you gonna look me in the face and tell me you don't complain about officials on your Twitter feed right now?
Oh no, talk to my lawyer. I plead with him.
Jim is actually I feel like Jim is like his purging comes in the form of X.
He takes
really.
I mean, it is a
wait, Jim, you take drugs? What are we doing right now?
No. Twitter.
Sorry,
I call it X. He calls it Twitter. Whatever.
I believe it that you're on X.
Yeah, it's definitely Twitter.
Tens.
Only cops call it X.
Although I will say to the point here, I will say StreamYard says you have Twitter.com, not X. So Jim has a point there. But yeah, Jim likes to put people in place on Twitter. You'd be a good dad, actually.
Hey Jim.
If I need to.
I mean, he's not. You know what, Jim? For a dude your size, I know you can dunk thoroughly well. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that. Well, I won't mention the person's name because he doesn't deserve notoriety. But there's one particular troll that gets on your case all too often.
Wait.
Don't do it.
Is it someone we all know?
No, not literally. Like this is a dude that's literally cloned Jim's account.
That guy. He's still doing that shit.
I don't know. Who cares?
I don't know. I haven't checked in on him in a little bit.
But the punchline is like the way you laid one particular dunk on him. I'm like, Feisty Jim is fun. Is this what Feisty Jim looks like? Because I need to.
Yeah, I mean, look. Like, I mean, I have fun. I obviously rant about different things. If you follow me on Twitter at Big Jim Sports, you can see it yourself. But if I need to flip the switch, like I can flip the switch. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I could choke a bitch.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's you know, it really, I mean, it really is all in fun and to a degree. I mean, like full transparency, like part of the shtick on Twitter is like it's taking something and, you know, turning it up to 11. You know, so but if there's a time to get serious about something, then I can absolutely do that.
Yeah, please see any tweet involving Clay Travis.
No, actually, he's calmed down the Clay Travis thing, maybe because he blocked his ass or something.
Yeah, I mean, it finally just hit a point where it was like, yeah, it wasn't. It just got to be too much. Like, and it got for no point for me because, like, that asshole's doesn't give a flying shit about people like me. So, you know, it's only impacting me at that point. You know, every so often, because there's an account I follow. I think it's exposing Clay.
Yes.
That will point out just the absolute idiocy that is Clay Travis. So every so often I'll see one of those flood my way and I'll react to it, but it's not what it used to be.
I mean,
he's not interesting anymore, to be honest. He's not interesting.
No, it literally, I mean, it is a full-on grift. Like there's literally no nuance to it at all.
He's so like, the thing is with me is like there are even like conservatives like, who I don't like, but I can understand like they're good at the grip, they're good at the shit. He's not good at it.
No.
Name me an example of what you're talking about, EJ.
Let me see. Who's the one I do actually
host the fucking show again, but go ahead.
No, again, this is a democracy, Kyle.
I'm joking, buddy.
It's a democracy. In fact, since democracy, I'll move you to the left corner here now. There you go.
I should be further left than you. You're Trump.
Oh my God! Really?
Oh,
man, I'm further right now.
Why isn't Jim over on the left?
Wait. Jim's the moderate now.
There we go. If we're doing the political leading,
yeah, exactly.
Like, if I'm further left than Jim, like I fucking founded the top and shit. I should be in Seattle. What the Christ?
Jesus. Meanwhile, I'm here on the East Coast. Well, that East,
so
whatever. Yeah.
God, things I didn't think would ever happen. Me bringing up the chop on a podcast.
What do you have topic wise, Kyle? You wanted to mention? You just mentioned something. You mentioned something a while ago. I have stuff. Yeah, I'll bring it up in a second. But I mean,
we went through not only
that was it. That was the
yes. Jim's Twitter feed was the fucking
Just
Are you
always
right
I didn't know that was it. No, I didn't know that was it.
I mean, I know we got to the Inception bomb, which, like, actually, what was your first instinct in seeing the Inception bomb there, EJ Christian?
Death.
Oh, see, he went full Roger Murphy.
Death.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Death. I've never been really a big drinker anyway. Even when I was in a band, we have Jaeger. I have like 1-2 shots of Jaeger, and then that was enough for me.
Crazy.
Yeah. Ugh.
And I can't
imagine anymore.
I've mostly always just been a beer guy, so
I'll
that
drink beer.
just doesn't look fun to me.
Yeah. I don't need all that stuff in my life.
So the problem with being huge and being jovial, first of all, I didn't drink till I got out of school, so I had no idea. But the problem with being huge and being jovial is you can drink a lot, or maybe the advantage, I don't know. And then you have all different friends that have different styles of drinking. I'm not necessarily about that life per se, but when in Rome, and my FBI buddy in his youth would throw them back. Let me tell you. I would not, for example, I forget what's in a 4 horseman shot, but all I can tell you is stay the hell away from it. Yeah. My kryptonite, however, is hurricanes. The only time I struggled was having 3 of those in 2 hours. There you go.
Hurricane? What's in hurricanes? What is that?
Oh God, you would ask me that.
I'm not a big drinker like you are. Well, whatever, or
not as my compatriots. Like, and again, I didn't drink till I got out of school. And I said to my mom one time, it's a good thing that worked out that way. I never could have afforded it in school. But yeah, what the hell is in a hurricane? Come on, host. You pulled up all these other sites. Why don't you look the fucking?
That's what I'm doing right now as you speak.
The 4 Horsemen is the 4 different types of whiskey, right?
I believe that's correct. Yes.
Yeah, bourbon, Irish whiskey, Tennessee whiskey, and Scotch, right?
Yeah. Well, see, my buddy being my buddy would put his own little spin on it and throw other more potent shit in there. And then let's not get started with
grain alcohol, making it the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. What's he doing?
He actually took a drink that featured Everclear and put it in. If you remember the old high C drink Ecto Cooler.
Remember it, motherfucker. I bought it when it came back out in like 2018.
There you go. He made a potent. Invented a potent ass drink using Everclear somewhere in there too. I couldn't tell you what was in it because he held on to the recipe, but
it looks tasty there.
We called it ectoplasm, obviously, as one should.
It's like
hurricanes are fucking delicious. Like, listen, the Cat Williams defense applies it. I was drinking around these white people, and these drinks were fucking delicious. Like that. The hurricane is that.
It's a double serving of rum and a suit of fruit juices and sweeteners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably
lime juice, orange juice, passion fruit puree, grenadine, and simple syrup.
And the reason why it says other liquors is it depends on where you actually buy it. If you get it Pat O's versus on bourbon, you might have a spin on it, Or God help you if they use 151, right? So it's a whole goddamn thing. But yeah, no, it's what makes it dangerous is it's fucking delicious, y'all. Let me tell you.
Well, there's a new one. There's like a new one that's become very popular on golf courses, and it's the transfusions. It's vodka, ginger ale, Concord grape juice, and lime juice.
God, that even
Concord
sounds.
Wait, Concord grape juice and lime juice, you said?
Yeah, with ginger ale and vodka. Yeah, it's real good. It's real good.
It sounds like something white folks would invent. I'm going to throw that right out there.
Oh yeah, I mean, we white.
That's a good point. Yeah, the most drink I'll do is like I'll get wine. I get wine.
As somebody who has taken a tour in Tours France and been to Champagne, what wines do you prefer, sir?
I'm a white wine guy. I can't. Red wine is too dry.
Of course, you prefer white wines. I met your wife. What I'm trying to tell you is, no, but like, I mean, Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio, what, bro?
Chardonnay is good. Pinot Grigio is really good, actually.
Sauvignon Blanc.
I can think of more. I don't buy it like normally in the house. I'll go to my sister's house and then they'll like, oh, I got wine here. Okay, just pour it, whatever.
The best white wine I had was a Vouvray from France.
Vouvray from France?
Yeah, it was called a Vouvray. Yes.
Vouvray.
V-U-V-R-E. But yeah, if you find something that says Vouvray, you buy that shit. Even the American version, which doesn't touch its French counterpart, is fucking great. Anyways.
Here's something I want to discuss with you guys. It's a little media thing. I don't know if you saw this.
Next question.
Say it again.
Yes, you are a bitch. Next question.
It actually wasn't on the list of things here, but I actually discussed it on my assault pod earlier today. But I don't know if you saw the rumors about NBC trying to buy the NBA rights with the contract being up very soon, and they're very close to closing the deal on that. And we may not have the NBA on TNT anymore after 35 years. Which means also the end of the Inside the NBA studio show, which is regarded as the greatest studio show in all sports, which I totally agree with for the record. People like, a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, this is great. We get the NBC song back and all this stuff." I'm like, okay, that's cool and all, and it's a great song, but I don't want it back at the risk.
I need people to to understand that the nostalgia of a song can only go so far. Because it was really, really cool. Was it last year or the year before when the NHL on ESPN returned? Because we got the great NHL on ESPN hockey night theme. However, ESPN's attempt at covering hockey in a mature and good manner has proven to be an embarrassing failure. Their broadcasting team stinks. Their studio teams are even worse. So I warn people. Let me warn people that wanting something back because of a song may not be the best option.
I mean, Jim, the moment Barry Melrose went back to coaching, they were fucked. Let's be real.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he has cancer or something. I believe. I hope he's doing okay. I haven't heard an update on him lately, but
is he okay? Is he okay?
He's been kind of out of the public light for a while, so I think just to kind of battle it personally. So I don't know. I don't want to speak one way or the other, because I don't know. So I don't want.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I mean, this is kind of a year of dramatic changes in media, because you have that potential big swing. You have the WWE at the end of the year is moving to Netflix for Raw. So there's a lot of changes, but I guess is there any I don't know what their contracts are, anything like that. Is there any possibility for that show to end up on a different platform covering the NBA?
Right now, no, because Charles Barkley has already said on record that if that thing ends, he's leaving TNT.
I thought it was Ernie that said that.
Ernie said he's staying at TNT no matter what.
Okay.
He's been employed there for 40 years. He's staying there. He's a loyal employee. Shaq will probably not be doing on TV anymore. Kenny's probably doing the same thing. So yeah, it's a possibility that the team may break up because of that, because of the contractual obligations and whatnot. But
how shitty is this? So wait a minute, ball guy. Does that mean we're stuck with Stephen A. Smith and fucking Kendrick Perkins?
Well, they're ESPN. Well, yeah, ESPN's gonna re-up their deal, obviously, with the NBA. Yeah.
Please keep in mind that it is woke Jim that put Kendrick Perkins under the bus. Okay,
really?
I want the record to show that right there with the soundboard.
That was more directed at Stephen A. But
true. But listen,
delay on the board.
When you try to tell me that Nikola Jokic is an MVP because he's white, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a bad look last year, and for the record, I scorched him on the show last year for that.
Oh no, I listen. I'm not saying you're arguing with me because, well, hey, this is one debate you can't lose, motherfucker. Anyway,
Calm down. Calm down. But to Jim's point though, we're seeing a lot like this year. I know when we do this public content a lot, we like to talk about media a lot every time because, and you go back the last couple of years we've been doing the show, and every year there's another thing, a big thing that happens in media. Last year we discussed Pat McAfee's move to ESPN and how that changed the landscape of certain things. Now we're seeing, this NBA deal that can impact one of the greatest studio show ever. Also, Netflix is now getting into the live game now. They're doing live events now with comedy. They're going to be doing the Tyson fight in July, which, by the way, I just found out today, no extra charge, as is. If you have Netflix, you'll even watch a fight in discussion. No extra charge for that.
Well, I think that's kind of been their model. Because even the only other live event they had done previously, and now the Brady roast, and they're getting into the NFL game, and obviously with the wrestling game, I think that is one of their quote unquote selling points. We've had discussions in the past, off air, maybe even on air, can't remember, about their raising prices and no password sharing and all of that, which I have varying opinions on. But at least the one thing that they've never really dove into, at least at this point, is premium content and stuff like that. Like Netflix is basically what you pay for is what you get.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that, Kyle?
Well, didn't Disney Plus really already kind of start that trend, right, over the pandemic, and putting Mulan up for $35 right? Regardless of how you feel about it, the premium, the plus, if you will, is a thing that's been loosed already. So if it was seen as profitable, they're going to take a shot at it. This is different, however, than Jim's staunch defense of Peacock hiding playoff games.
That's one. That's true.
But talk about a fucking heel, Jim. Shit, I know you're into wrestling, but I did not expect you to go from Sid Justice to Sid Vicious right there. Did not see that coming. How's that for a reference, motherfucker?
That is a hell of a job. I'm proud of you.
and then fellas, we also now have this on the horizon now. According to sources, that Netflix may also be getting NFL games this year.
That's what I was saying. Christmas Day, Netflix exclusive.
Yeah. Granted, Christmas has always been questionable because access has been limited to Christmas games already previously, at least the night ones. I'll never forget. They scheduled Ravens Steelers, and the only local TV that was, and by local I mean like free TV, right? That was airing it was local to Pittsburgh.
And there was a point too where the thing when they added the night game on Thanksgiving, it was on the NFL Network, which when they started doing that, it wasn't on every house that had a cable. Well, and streaming wasn't even a thing at that point. Yes, we're that old folks.
Yes, but I mean, the world didn't need to see Bryant Gumbel doing play-by-play. That was not good.
Well, that's true, but and that's I mean, it. Is it? I mean, yeah, sure, it's greed. It's absolutely greed. But I said I made a point to somebody about with the Netflix talk last week is they're like the NFL wants us to have this and this and this, and I'm like, I mean, they do. Obviously, they want people watching their product, and there will come a breaking point. I mean, I've even had this discussion about the WWE because almost every time the WWE does a pay-per-view weekend, they break gate records for the company, either for that show or all-time records. Philadelphia WrestleMania broke gate records for SmackDown, Raw, Hall of Fame, everything across.
When you say gate, you mean in person?
Yes.
Well, gate and the financial, it is the most valuable episode of SmackDown
revenue
in terms of revenue ever.
Good.
And so I guess not gate, but revenue.
Because gate shit has been breaking records because people like you or I or Ernest Christian that want to go or are trying to make a living attending fucking live events didn't happen. And now I'm all like, oh, the Magic, sure. Let's go.
Yeah, but it's breaking revenue records because
Yeah.
And somebody said, somebody made the comment. They're like, well, the reason they're breaking these revenue records is because they're raising the prices so much. And I said, well, yeah, but it also means that people are paying it. And
Right.
like, so there will come a point where they, I don't know when that's going to be because the product's as hot as it's been in decades. But like, there's going to come a point where they have a big pay-per-view weekend and they don't sell it out, and then they're going to have to go, all right, maybe we priced ourselves out a little bit. We have to, tap the brakes a bit. So the NFL is eventually going to hit that point, right, where like people in a larger number are going to go, I'm not going to do this.
Here's the thing, and I'm not saying economically and theoretically speaking, according to the textbook, you're 100% right, Jim. Here's the thing. They've been stealing market share from other places more than people have been telling the NFL no.
Okay.
Right. And I think the reason for that is other sports are just not set up to be appointment ingrained cultural things. Right. For most Americans out there, and this would exclude, I shouldn't say this would exclude, that's not fair. For most Americans, we'll just say that Sunday is stereotypically church, then football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which worship is taken more seriously is a separate conversation.
Depends what part of the country you're in.
Yeah,
correct.
That's true. That's very true, Jim.
I mean, I didn't know the Florida highway system was sponsored by Jesus billboards. I learned that on my trip.
Well,
that and there was a porn shop. There was a porn shop, Jesus, and Maui Jim or whatever.
You have your choices, buddy.
And then also stores that specialize both in scuba and guns, rampant throughout San
Oh yeah, a lot of gun billboards. You guys love your guns in Florida.
First of all, you son of a bitch, I don't own or carry, so
Likewise.
Well, you as the collective state.
I'm pro 2A, but I don't carry.
I mean, it's getting
I'm
to the
pro
point.
2A, but I don't own a gun.
True, exactly.
How can you be woke and be pro 2A, Jim? What the fuck?
I'm a complicated man, Kyle.
You like hockey, son of a bitch.
I think Jim and I have similar feelings about guns. Regulation. You need regulation on.
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah.
Common sense regulation.
Yeah. Common sense regulation is a great
Imagine
way to
that.
describe that.
Well, see, but what does that even mean? And thus lies the conundrum.
I mean, if you want a true weapon of war, join the military. So let's start there. Like,
I'm sorry, I don't need my neighbor having storing automatic machine guns in his house. Sorry, don't need it. Don't need to have that. I think that's ridiculous.
Well, and how often is that even really happening? Let's have that question.
More than you realize.
Yeah.
More than you realize. I don't think you understand. I won't call any names, but I know a few people in my life that do own those type of.
But
extra.
through what means?
but it is. I mean, I will say this: as much as I don't need people to have that, it is always good to have at least one of those people in your life, because if shit does go down, you know which house you're going to.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, my neighbor's a cop too, so I'm happy.
First of all, should you be happy your neighbors are cops? Need I remind you what you look like, sir? A, B.
Wait, hold on, slow down. He was just on the podcast last week.
Sorry, isn't it
Great.
your line, Jim? My bad.
No, hold on, Kyle. He was on the podcast last week, actually. So, good dude, great dude.
Yeah, well,
So,
hey, listen,
and he's black too, for the record.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that doesn't count. That
White wife also. Black dude, white wife was like us here. So
the only thing that breaks the stereotype is the fact he's a fucking cop.
He's a good cop though. He's one of the good ones.
They do exist though.
They absolutely do exist.
And serve this country well too. Also,
yeah. And what's the name? What's the pod that he's on? Which one was it?
Like literally like 2 episodes ago. It's like I had my soul one last today, and then
he's asking for you to say the Earnestly Speaking podcast.
Oh, on the why would I name the show? I'm literally doing a show on.
Actually, first of all, you would be that guy that would wear the T-shirt to the concert you're attending. A, B. I was hoping you at least give us the title of the fucking episode for reference.
It's his name on the show, dude. His name's on the show.
What's his fucking name, dickweed? Or are you not?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Kyle! Calm down, dude. Dramatic shit.
I don't get to curse like this all the time.
I know. Hold it in. Come on, get it out.
That's what she said.
Splooge.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no, sir, he is not present.
But
No,
like
Jim, I'm EJ, not Jesus Christ. Calm down, please.
But my whole thing is like, yeah, like there will come a point where people check out of the NFL's. How far can we stretch this? You know, and quote unquote force people to go grab this service and this service and this service, because you know what I mean?
I thought you meant the NFL was a breaking point. I beg your pardon. Yeah, it continues.
Oh yes, no, the NFL is a breaking point, because like, yes, there are some people who absolutely were like, I am not going to subscribe to Peacock to watch a game and a playoff game, you know, that you're putting behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, theoretically, if you want to really dig deep, and I understand that most people have some sort of a, whether it is a cable or like a streaming cable service, an NFL playoff game on ESPN is technically behind a paywall, but that's a whole separate argument for a different day. You know, so there's going to come a point where it's like, I'm not going to get Netflix to watch the NFL. I'm not going to add Prime to watch the NFL. I'm not going to do this to watch the NFL. And they're going to have to make a choice. Like, okay, we've gone too far on this, so maybe we just utilize, you know, this single platform for one game here, one game there. You know, I don't know when that point will be. We'll see it. Well, but seeing in the complicated thing that is beginning to happen, and I find it hilarious, is, you know, there was talk today that, what was it? Peacock, Apple TV, and
Comcast, and some fucking buddy,
and Netflix, Apple TV, and Peacock are in discussions to, you know, come up with some sort of like joint package, where you would get all three of those under one price,
because they're realizing the cost of content is too goddamn high.
Right, and we're starting to see this with, I think, like, I think other ones have had, like Paramount, and was it Paramount and Max were in discussions maybe, and like there's been talk of this other one before. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be great?
Merge?
Yeah, or at least to like work together. So like, you know, you pay one price and you get all three of them together, as opposed to having to pay for them separately.
In short, it's the $1,000 cable, or $1,000, excuse me, 1,000 channel cable pendulum swinging back.
Right, and that's the thing I've joked. Anytime I see one of these discussions pop up, I'm like, man, wouldn't it be great if just all of these channels were offered like under one umbrella for one price? Like, maybe one day we'll get something like that, but I know I'm crazy.
Make cable great again, huh, woke Jim?
I've always said that the real value in like streaming, even years ago, was not so much the money and saving money. It was more so the having control what you want to watch, having control of the channels you want to pay for.
It was both, because if it was cheaper, like, people will take what they're fed. Like, this is something to where the premium shit out there wasn't premium enough, in my opinion. Like, there were people out there that didn't get HBO, right? They just went with basic cable.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah, I never had HBO. Like, I never had. I mean, growing up, there was a point growing up I didn't have the Disney Channel because it was a
channel,
a premium
correct
channel.
Right.
Like, we had cable, but you had to pay beyond that to get Disney. The only place I saw Disney was at like at my daycare after school, because obviously she could actually thinking about it as an adult, she could probably write that off as a business expense. You know what I mean? So it was easy for her to pay that. You know, but so that kind of stuff is going to complicate it, but there will come a point where people just won't do it, and then the NFL will have to kind of figure it out then. But for me, that's why I was just kind of, I've always just had the theory, like, if you don't actually want to pay for something, you figure it out. Like, I mean, password sharing is still a thing. People will find creative ways to do it. So shit, you know, like the Phillies, I don't have Apple TV Plus. The Phillies were on there a couple Fridays ago. I know a couple people who have Apple TV Plus. I said, hey, anybody want to share a password so I can watch a Phillies game? Got it. Like,
I mean, if you're that desperate to watch baseball, I guess you got to find.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
I mean, but you know what I mean. So, hey, I don't really want to pay for Peacock. You want to share a password with me? Can I get a password? Come on. Can I get a password? Like,
So wait, I can't help but think about Bob saying, "I'll suck your dick for some cock."
exactly. You know what I mean? How bad do you want to watch the NFL? You know, how bad do you want to watch a playoff game? If you don't want to watch it that bad, you won't watch it. If you want to watch it but don't feel like paying for Peacock, go to Buffalo Wild Wings down the street. You probably have one. Or another sports bar.
Sam Adams cherry wheat on tap. It was toy.
Bingo. So like, you know, that's kind of my point too, is like there are places where you can watch things. I mean, there's also, I don't know if you guys have heard, there's like these sites on the internet that you can watch sports without having to pay for it. So like you can find one of those, especially if you like, you know, have friends that know where those sites are.
Well, listen, Jim, let me remind you, me and EJ Christian living on a peninsula like we do, we're well aware of those people that say, "Arr." I'm just saying.
Right. So there you go. So yeah, there's always going to be a way to watch a game that you know, if you really want to watch it that bad.
I never, you know, up until like maybe the last like 10 years, I never thought about when I had cable back in the day that when you had cable, you were paying, like, for example, $6 to $7 a month for ESPN, $2 to $3 a month for Lifetime, $2 to $3 for X channel, and that's to me that's really the value. It's like, okay, at least I get to select what channels I want to pay for. Because in a real world,
worth only $6. Shit, got more expensive than that.
I was talking about years ago. I mean, obviously now it's like $8, $9.
Yeah, remember how old EJ is?
Yeah, remember, I'm very old. Yes, exactly. Well, so is Kyle. Bitch.
Fucker. If I'm old at the number I'm at, I can't imagine how bad off you two fucking jerkwads are going to be. Okay, that's all I'm saying. This again, going back to my FBI buddy, would talk all this shit. Oh, you're 30 now. Oh, look at this. This motherfucker turns 30. 2 years later, he pops his ACL doing CrossFit. I'm like, who's laughing at him? You know,
hey, why are you doing CrossFit in your 30s? Get out of here.
Well,
body's not. I mean, I don't know that the body's meant to do some of that shit at any age, much less post 30.
Would you do CrossFit, Jim?
No. Are you out of your fucking mind? Get the fuck fuck yourself.
I thought about it.
Just because
you will get hurt. You got hurt throwing football with your kids. You will die doing CrossFit.
I still have the mark on my face.
Yeah. That mark should tell you don't fucking do CrossFit. What is wrong with you?
I'll play popcorn and football.
Why did I not popcorn for this episode? Son of a bitch.
You know what's funny? I almost did, actually. I almost had popcorn ready to go, and I was just
Yeah, I don't know.
So, by the way, in the interest of plugging things just because I can, get the Bing ready.
You're good at that, apparently.
I was watching Hilarity by Default the other night. You do realize, if you haven't checked this out, check out the Mary Poppins episode. I said it. I popped corn just because I knew Tokyo Jameson and Demosthenes Euclid were going to go at it, and it was a great bit. If you haven't seen it, EJ Christian, see it.
Mary Poppins, right?
Yes.
All right, I'll check it out.
We did enough episodes. It might be a little hard to find. I'll warn you, but the son bitch is there.
Is that so dead? Or will you come back at some point?
Boy, that's tough to answer.
I hate that pause is a problem. I like that pause.
Hear me out. Like, I'm literally 2 months away from going across the ocean to a destination wedding where he's getting married.
Right.
Gentlemen, you know what that means, right? So the chances, my response is probably, but the main thing that's killing it, for those who have ever been curious from the days when I would plug Demosthenes Euclid on this podcast here, I have to say it like that or else EJ complains.
That's right.
But he got so successful doing what he was doing with his job at the Orthodox Church in New York. Like, he's like head of the education stuff, what the kids ministry up there. He went from doing the video editing work and having the church basically their video streaming presence explode over the pandemic and beyond to now running the damn kids ministry. I believe that's what it is at this church. Who, by the way, apparently the priest there was a fan of Hilarity by Default's required viewing. Bing! So
Was he?
Nice.
Okay.
that was a little awkward with some of the phrases I used during that show, but that's okay. I've talked to the Padre in question. Cool guy.
You didn't cuss on that show though.
I cursed a lot on that show, Ernest Christian.
You did? I don't remember you cursing a lot on that show.
Now later on that show, it was when I heard that Father was listening. Motherfucker became Mickey Fireball. I coded it, but you better bet. Oh, bro, like
Mickey Fireball.
What I need you to do is go to the Dumbo episode and watch the very end of it, and you'll see how crazy I can get. Or I literally have a moment in the middle of the rant after ending it going, what just happened? That should tell you everything. Anyways.
Mickey Fireball. That's funny. I'm gonna use that one day. It's kind of white though.
Perfect for you, Trumper. Anyways, so you walked right into it, EJ Christian. What do you?
Don't be rude.
That was probably your best one yet.
Yeah.
You sit in that van and work on it, don't you?
No, not really.
Don't be.
Only until I know my wife.
Dude.
My wife can't stand him. So when I annoy her, I'll start saying, Lord, hey, listen.
Dude, you're a brave idiot.
I
You're doing that.
EJ Christian, I will pay you cash money if you deliver me a picture of her face when you drop that shit. He's thinking about it.
Like literally.
He's like, how much money? How much money? What's it worth?
I'm out of work and I just dropped some cash in the direction to keep certain aspects of Huddle Up going. So like, let's keep that in mind.
There were two voices that get on her skin every time I want to bother her. There's Trump
and yours.
And no. Well, that's the other one. Well, that's third. And Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay.
Whoa. How the shit is your wife, as a alleged wrestling podcaster? I say alleged because 3 Count Thursday is the only show we actually hear of. Bing! But oh yeah, Lord Christian, let me tell you something right here. It doesn't make any sense that you can't handle the Randy Macho Man voice.
So do you remember when Savage used to put his hand under Liz's chin every time to scold her?
Mm-hmm.
I would do that and do that to her all the time. She hates that shit.
God,
and she'll slap me to shit. It's like, what are you doing? Like, sorry, little.
Excuse me, Jim. I need you to drop the clat because she would slap the shit out of me. Deserves and rightly
so.
And rightly so. Thank you, sir. Anyways,
hull up. God, I miss Hull Up. It's been a couple months now.
Yeah,
I don't know. Some of us never go away on the Huddle Up YouTube channel, you bitches.
That's true. You're always there. We'll be getting probably the end of the month as we'll get some episodes ready to release. But
you'll definitely have a short tomorrow morning of a certain chuckle fuck in the upper right hand corner here.
Oh,
what did I say?
We talked about Kyrie and Luka.
Oh, yeah, the clip. Okay, cool. Cool.
See how unscared he got.
That's what I said this time. Look, listen, you can't get mad at me because you get where when I'm on your show, you're like, oh, don't curse. I was great this morning.
Oh no,
I was an A student. I was an A student this morning.
And I'm glad you brought this up because this is going to take me to another question I think the three of us can seriously and entertainingly discuss. But the story I tell with you is okay, EJ, don't curse. No problem. All right, student of the game, welcome in our guest, EJ Christian. How the fuck are you, guys?
It's been a while since I've done that, though. It's been a while.
So,
I've been doing better.
All that being said, when two actors, professional actors, working actors, I can say at this point, regardless of what Tokyo Jameson wants to tell you, when Essex and O'Brien and Tokyo Jameson both committed the crime on the same fucking recording, how can I give you a hard time anymore? I'm just saying. Now, I'll grant you, they were talking about one of these two topics, and the one I want to run in past you gentlemen here first. We're talking about entertainment and stuff. What do you guys think of athletes suddenly dominating the space? Because I have sort of mixed feelings about it. And I know when I say that, everybody's going to bring up Shannon Sharp immediately. Here's the thing. Shannon Sharp has been up in this Humpty Bumpy trying to do this for at least 2 decades. I feel like it's about
no, you're right. It is 2 decades.
And he went from like, listen, you could do a hell of a parody doing My Fair Lady and making him Eliza Doolittle with the marbles he had in his fucking mouth when he started doing this as a member of the CBS Sports Crew. He was terrible. You could not understand him. To now, where not only is he engaging and intelligent, he may have always been. We just never knew because we can never understand him. Now Club Shay Shay is blowing the fucking entertainment world open, and he's a football player. But then you have these others. Like, it feels like, why the fuck does John Wall have a podcast, DJ Christian? Not that you shouldn't have an opinion, Jim, but I
didn't know he had one, first off. But
first of all, you shouldn't, because that's how popular it should be. But he has one, god damn it. Right? Like, what are we doing here?
Well, Jim, you want to say one first?
Go ahead, if you.
Well, because like there's the Charles Barkleys of the world and the Shannon Sharps of the world. They don't count because they've been doing this now for 2 decades before podcasting was a thing.
And Barkley always had a message. Okay, let's be clear. Like, part of what made Nike amazing is they would have messages, societal messages in their ass. You know, I am not a role model. Yeah. Like, I owned the Wit and Wisdom of Charles Barkley book. By the way, quick trivia thing. The first jersey the student of the game ever owned was a number 34 Suns jersey.
Nice.
Interesting. Nice. I will admit there's some shows I do like, but I'm very selective. I think the basketball pods are actually more my speed because I feel like there's a lot more open storytelling in a way that I don't know. I seem to enjoy those more than the football athletes pods.
Why? Because you're not going to tell me for a minute anything JJ Redick is talking about is going to be more entertaining to me than the Kelsey brothers.
I think that JJ Redick is fantastic. He does. He
was bad at it. His problem is he's an abrasive asshole.
Yeah. Which was actually part of the reason why I would say he's actually kind of he's authentic in that way. I have not listened to Kelsey brothers in like all the episodes in full. What I have heard is pretty good.
First of all, A, get a fucking hold of your life. B, damn it, listen. Both you two chuckle fucks.
I have the gym problem though. I have too much. I just too much content now. I got to stop listening to content.
Shut up and make time for them interviewing Arnie. That fucking shit was Vice type.
Wait, what Arnie
fucking Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
Really? You had him on the show? Wow.
You think it was talking about Arnold Palmer? I mean, that guy's been dead for years. What Arnie did you think?
That's a great question, Jim.
No, I knew it was Schwarzenegger. I just didn't know. I want to make sure we're on the right path there. I am subscribed to their channel on YouTube, but if I catch them, it's on clips. You know, I'm very okay. So like for me, I'm very selective.
So much, I would have thought for sure you listened to that show.
I'm very selective about what I listen to now. I've gotten because remember I just gotten overwhelmed with so much content now. Listen to that I've had to do away with some shit now. Just do away with some shit.
Sure.
Like right now, my favorite show right now is Nightcap with Shannon and Chad, and then Good Morning once in a while.
How the fuck can you stomach Ocho Cinco, man?
Because they're funny as shit.
No,
and they go beyond. That's not your taste.
Ocho Cinco is depressing. Like
what's wrong with Ocho Cinco?
Bad, silly old man. He's not. No.
I love the fact he likes to talk. He talks about how cheap he is. I like the fact that he talks about like
hold up. Motherfucker who affords the shit that he affords does not get to talk about being cheap. Shut the fuck up.
What do you mean?
Bruh. And listen, I get it. Maybe he doesn't throw his money around. I agree that that's something people should do, right? Tell me a rich person that's kept their money, that's cut checks. Like, no one makes a living cutting checks. I get it. But you've seen the jewelry he's worn on occasion, right? What are we doing?
Supposedly the guy still has a smart car. So drives a smart car.
that he's fooling you.
Probably, I don't know, but he has.
You platform idiots.
But this is something that he didn't.
The same way that Jim used to platform Clay Travis. Okay, no, he's fooling you.
That's a good show though.
The same way you platform Bill Simmons or previously, because you allegedly don't like him anymore. Whatever. By the way,
in clips, he's in clips now. He depends. Depends on top.
He should never be given a goddamn microphone. Period. He should have stayed on page 2. See what I did there? Anyway.
Yeah. What are your favorite like athlete podcasts outside of Kelsey Brothers, of course?
I mean, the Kelsey Brothers are really good at what they do. Here's the thing. I don't like that they dominate the space the way that they do. Right. And I say this as somebody who has at least played the game in my past. But it's one thing to have. Where are the shows with some decorum and intellect? And this is what's good about JJ Redick, by the way. Mind the game. I like what it's trying to do. I've listened to some episodes, and there's some parts where I'm like, whoa, I need to rewind that. That was a little over my head, because I don't follow basketball quite that but closely. I played football at a higher level than I play basketball, right? Mm-hmm. So some of it didn't click right away, but I understand it better for having listened to it. I get that. And maybe I'm the problem. Maybe he said cocky as fuck, as he often does. I referred to myself in the third person. Of course I'm cocky, but
did you ever say to yourself,
well, fuck you, Kyle?
Not yet.
Okay.
I how would I take that honor away from you, Jim?
That's true.
That's a good point.
Very good point.
You could accuse me of a lot of things, being selfish, not usually. Anyways, no. Hey, listen, I might be cocky, but I'm also the most humble motherfucker in the room. Anyways, I'm going to keep using that one, and it's still going to be funny.
I love the irony of it. Like, that's the best. It's so good.
My favorite football.
Well, yeah. Okay. Let me sidebar EJ's question. To me, I guess. I mean, I don't listen to it. I listen to the Kelsey Brothers, and that's pretty much it when it comes to.
It's the same here, and the Kelsey Brothers aren't a regular listen.
Like, my question is to the broader topic as a whole is like, what do you want out of your content? Because like even like in the wrestling realm, I'll use it because it's the one that I'm probably keyed into the most.
Glad you said that.
There's a variety of different types of podcasts, or content in that realm, because you can have the the Bruce Pritchards and the Tony Schiavones and the Kevin Nashes of the world that are basically telling their side of wrestling history that they've lived through.
Right.
And then you have people.
That's that's not hosting. I think there's a big difference there.
Right. So and then there's people that simply do what me and my idiot friends do every week, and we just get together just to talk wrestling and whatever the hell comes up every week. And then there's people that try to be journalists. Then there's people that try to be almost try to like create characters within the show. So I guess that's more the question when you're talking about how do I feel about athletes in entertainment or in this realm.
Let me tell you what I'm getting at, because we're already in a space, Jim, where comedians are better at news than the news givers.
Oh, without question.
Yes. Okay.
Without question.
Okay. Where's the fucking line? Right? And watching, for example, one of our panelists already sucked in by Ocho Cinco spewing his bullshit,
So what I said.
And you, bro, you make a living being wrong on this fucking show every week on the Huddle Up podcast. Bing! All right. There's a reason why you got a coffee mug first. And it's because of the frequency of the content, not necessarily quality. That's terrible. I didn't mean it like that. Anyways.
It's okay. You get over it.
No, I probably won't, because it's how much Jim hates me that you got a mug. I'm just saying. That's why I needed that hug, Jim. I needed to know that you really did.
Yeah, I do love you.
But no, and I think, and others have made this point too, right? It's not just me. Like people who I vehemently disagree with on certain things. Bomani Jones, for example, on one end has pointed this out as an anomaly. Where is the line of actual decorum and proper? I'm not a journalist, but I know there are people out there, you among them, Ernest Christian, that pound the fucking table trying to tell me that I am. No, the fuck I'm not. And if I don't meet that criteria and that standard, who does? Now, if you're billing yourself as comedy, as Ocho Cinco and Shay do, cool. Hell, even McAfee will tell you, we just kind of try. We're not journalists. And they do a pretty good job doing it. Like, there's a reason people told me, I think, that oh, yeah, you're kind of like McAfee. First of all, fuck you. I've been doing this at least 10 times as long. Well, okay, 5 times as long. A, B, I would never curse that much on a show because who the hell could consume it? And yet somehow we got to deal with Disney. I digress. But you know, this is what happened when Disney gets a hold of fucking Deadpool.
And then fires his own shots across the boardroom. But that's a whole nother situation in and of itself.
That's the part I liked, though, Jim. Like, to McAfee's credit, he's using it to and see.
Well, and then played victim. You know,
I love how you mentioned wrestling, though, Jim, earlier, because that's the one space where I love to hear, like, mostly from wrestlers, because
it's the same.
Same thing.
If I may quickly, no, it's not at all. It's what you know what it is. Wrestling pods, like when you got Stone Cold or something talking about, that's a grunge version of Inside the Actors Studio. And I'm not taking shots at it being.
Okay, no, I get you. I get you.
Mm-hmm.
So here's like, okay, so to the point of like, where do we draw the line on decorum and this and that and the other? The sad thing is, I don't know that we're ever going to be able to find the line anymore, because for the majority of people, and you know, whether it's 51% or 68% or whatever, I don't know where that majority line is. I feel like the majority of the line is the people don't necessarily want that. They want their content, regardless of form, to just be funny or to just be entertaining. I mean, that's why these like Barstool idiots, spitting chiclets and busting with the boys and shit like that are as popular as they are, because it's morons placating the lowest common denominator.
I mean, listen, I've already gotten the white version of President Camacho. No disrespect to Terry Crews. Okay. For those who don't get the Idiocracy reference, fucking watch the movie and realize the future is coming, bitches.
I mean, Paul Bissonnette, who was a mediocre hockey player and a bad fighter, is one of the studio analysts on the NHL and TNT. I mean, it's. I just sit there and I go, like, I can't. I love the game of hockey. I absolutely love the game of hockey. Yeah. I can't watch the national broadcast studio shows, like before pregame and intermission. I literally can't. And I'm like, how is this what it kills me that, I mean, years ago there was a couple of guys that were on the NHL on NBC that were pretty bad. I would like kill to have those guys back now,
for those
because it is just gotten exponentially worse.
So let me throw this at you, Jim, to hit the point home. Everyone here remembers who John Clayton is, I hope.
Of course. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace.
Give me anybody you would take ahead of him.
Right now?
He's a
goddamn one.
He's a reporter. He was a reporter, right? Mostly.
He gave proper analysis too, if I remember.
Correct. Right.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. With like Clayton, Mortensen, another rest in peace.
Yes.
A lot of these guys that we fell in love with and that we came up through, adolescence and things with, were guys who started as actual journalists. on the ground, on the beat in fucking Dayton, Ohio, doing
who had actually confirmed stories and shit like
right, like
hits you.
Like Dan Patrick, my all-time number one. Like, I mean, he starts in Nowheresville, Ohio, doing like Division III basketball and fucking minor league baseball. And you work your way up. You have guys in Paducah, whereversville, covering 60 people at a minor league hockey game, and they eventually scratch and claw and they make a connection here and do this, that, and the other, and then they find their way to the top. Now, oh, well, I happen to be drinking buddies with the dude who was on the fourth line of the fucking St. Louisville's fucking AAA hockey team. And now this idiot's on TNT because
or you're John Wall.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, the sad thing, I mean, that's just that's just where we've gotten. Like, it literally is just where we've gotten. And like, Pat McAfee and the McAfee Show are great at what they do. I have watched him morph into more of a character and a gimmick than he was even 3 years ago, and for me, not in a great way.
All right, see, that's interesting because, and I'm not here to say that Pat McAfee is by any means something that Mensa should officially sponsor or anything like that. You don't know what Mensa is, look at the fuck up. But his show is sneaky more intelligent than it looks, right? And as much as of a character as Pat McAfee may ever be or become, AJ Hawk is there to stabilize, right? Just like Matt Muehlheisen does here on the Huddle Up podcast. There is a reason I give him that title, and it's not just because he's quiet, all right? That motherfucker is what keeps people from getting off the rails. When, Jim has just gotten sick of EJ Christian. I'm turning red, setting things on fire because I'm sick of EJ Christian. Then Matt Muehlheisen comes in with a giant dunk and
because he's like an EJ Christian also too. Yeah.
And widens the gap between EJ Christian.
I mean, there's a common denominator in all of this.
That's very true.
But I listen, I make the joke about you, EJ Christian, but let's be honest, Matt's come in and checked me a few times to neutralize it. Like, for all my ego, like I say,
but it makes a great show though too, also because he leaves out space for us to do our thing. Because you and I like to entertain like hell.
Got it. So if I'll even go right to Shannon on this as somebody who we've exonerated, and we don't have to worry about insulting anybody because I've said John Wall's name like 4 fucking times. Who's gonna check Shannon on his show unless you happen to have a guest like Monique that will look him in the face? Oh no, baby, it didn't go that way, right? Or something like that. Who? Because they don't check themselves anymore. And I have no reason to believe that anybody has the integrity that a John Clayton would have.
It's different medium now.
It was for. What was that, EJ?
It's a different medium though. So the thing is too. Also, I don't look at when I look at a guy like Shannon Sharp, even Stephen. Well, Stephen A. to less of an extent, but like guys like that, athletes.
Kind of a tragedy, but we can get into that later.
Right. I see you and maybe because you and I are very intelligent when it comes to stuff. We know how to separate. Okay, these aren't actual journalists. So at the end of the day, they get a little bit longer leash because they're just going to spill opinions and how they feel about things.
But yet, people feel like they're justified to talk shit on Joe Rogan when he's a literal comedian. Why does he not get that grace? When
a lot of that also is the space he's into, the political space, and that's more polarizing than say sports / pop culture.
I mean, he does delve into,
I'm not saying it's right.
He does delve into politics, but let's be honest, he has as many MMA fighters and comedians on there as he has politicians.
Well, a lot of Rogan is so complicated because I explained this in the podcast.
To me, I think the dangerous part of Joe Rogan is there are people who listen to him and don't realize he isn't actually an expert.
Okay.
And he talks about things, serious things, serious, and I mean like potential to impact not only the country but the world at large. Like, and he passes things off as fact and they're not, and the people listening don't realize that they're not fact.
But what's different about Rogan is he has been checked on his own show, right? Like people like, so I've told Joe, no, that's not right. And then he has the intern or the producer or whoever it is look it up on the internet. We've seen Joe get dunked on his own show about COVID, I might add. You know, don't put this on YouTube. I said the C word. You know, I would make a joke about I can say this word but not COVID, but that is one word I refuse to say. I just can't do it. But yeah.
I mean, but I also think, and I mean, it hasn't creeped into my space as much. I don't know if I've just filtered out the right words on certain social media sites in a way that it doesn't.
Well, we know about your woke echo chamber, Jim. There's no way
that it doesn't populate. Well, Elon Musk would beg to differ because there's plenty of echoing from another side that I'm not a part of. But that but there was a point, especially during COVID, where you know, the Joe Rogan team and look, as much as I hate them, they're good at what they do. You know, crafted shorts and clips in a manner that didn't show him getting fact checked. You had to watch the whole episode. When you know, this is me putting on my very opinionated, you know, facts don't give a shit about. I guess it's not even that. I don't give a shit about your feelings. Side of it is the a lot of the people that take what he says as gospel don't have the brain power to listen to a 2-hour episode. They need it in 15-second clips and go, oh, this guy's a genius.
But that's the point. The craft such that it was built in. The saying goes, the harder you write, the easier it is for something to be read. Now, granted, that translates to video, right? The harder you work to build something that's a craft, the easier it is to take in. And that should be the determining winning factor, not how many times I can say fuck. The censors would lose their shit just reading through Joe Rogan's advertisements. Oh, I had so-and-so bourbon and it's so fucking delicious. Oh, I did the fucking thing and the thing, it was so fucking delicious. Fucking shit, fuck, shit, delicious, fuck. Like, that's the Joe Rogan ad. Like, I'm not mad at it, but
that was good.
Thank you. Now you want to go buy whatever the fuck bourbon, right?
Exactly.
I might just find, I'm out of work, but whatever. You know, I'll coax the wife into giving me a few bucks to like start a goddamn distillery, whatever the fuck distillery. I can have whatever the fuck.
Actually, should just be the name of it. Whatever.
Have you guys ever heard the term audience capture?
I've never heard the exact term, but I probably understand what it is.
That's where Joe Rogan suffers from, because he's a very liberal guy. Like, you ask him about his beliefs, he's very left. Very left. But the majority of his audience are very moderate to right-wing, mostly males.
Well,
and what happens is that I feel like a lot of his content, especially in the last like maybe 5 or 6 years, has gone to maybe catering a little more to that audience.
He knows where to get his money.
In fear of losing that audience.
So here's,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's be careful. If you're going to bring up data, I'm going to check. You know how this works. I say used to because
I'm going based on his words and also what we've seen.
Right.
Was the show.
But hold on, you're saying, like a lot of his audience is male. Like, for example, is the thing that said audiences in general on YouTube are male because of reasons. We're still kind of disseminating on why that is, but the platform dictated that happened. Joe didn't choose it. It just happened that way. Now, to Jim's point, and listen, for all your communistic capitalism, I will agree that there's an element of hosts catering to their audience to keep them coming back. That's what we call, regardless of whatever ism you believe, that's what we call good fucking business, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But I think there's another sweeping element too. Like, people are even calling, Fox News is using clips from Bill Maher, for fuck's sake, just for being honest. That doesn't mean he stopped being liberal. Okay. Like, can we be careful with that for a minute too? I know that's probably the most political thing Jim's ever heard me say, because I try not to skirt the line, but you know, like, there's an element of that too. So it's never, listen, believe you me, this, I've made this a football point many times. It's rarely ever just one thing. You don't get a billion listeners and have a phenomenon be a silver bullet, okay? Or
Right.
$1 billion podcast, sorry. So I don't know. But to bring it all full circle, the way that a lot of this was prevented previously is because journalists were trained in the art of ethics and confirmation.
Right.
And that's gone. Now, maybe it's not fair to ask that of journalists nowadays with the news cycle being so demanding as it is and all this other stuff. That's a separate conversation. But as somebody who I might be, God, this is going to sound cocky, but I think it's just because it's factual. I'm going to say it. I might be the closest thing to a journalist you guys personally know that's not named Antoine Staley. Right? So, and you're...
I'm actually going through my brain to think if I actually know anybody who is legitimately a journalist, and I don't think I do.
I do know a few. And I will say you're definitely in conversation at least.
Yeah.
Because I know a couple reporters, and that's a different thing.
Is it?
I think so.
Tell me how.
Reporting versus
it depends. I like, okay, reporter in the sense that they are like a news anchor. So they are on and reading a teleprompter about a news story.
I would argue the demand for them to be journalists is greater than what I do, because I deal in opinion. I deal in storytelling. I am not reporting. Therefore, me representing a story that involves Brett Favre and Bill Simmons, I'm probably not the right guy to report that story, because I will say
fair. Then then I know like two journalists, actual journalists.
I want to make sure I get the joke in. Like, it would be a hack giving a bad account of a guy who's a scumbag that played football once and has thrown more interceptions than everybody else in the universe.
Right. Yeah.
Without hesitation, totally cool with throwing Brett Favre under the bus. I love it.
I mean, if you're gonna, I'm not gonna stand here and get mad if you're throwing known pieces of shit under a bus. I'm okay with that. There's another former Packers quarterback you could probably throw under there too. But I'm not naming names. No.
Yeah, you've only named a network after him.
So
you're not a fan, Jim. Okay, cool.
Are you surprised by that?
Still voted him MVP one year. Jim wants to make sure you know that.
Yes.
I mean, I can separate on the field versus off.
Art from the artist. I get it, buddy. I still think Kevin Spacey's a great actor. We'll just never see anything he does ever again.
Dude, he is. Frank Underwood may unknowingly be the most perfectly casted character in the history.
I have not finished that show yet. Actually, I'm still like,
okay. Hold on. By finished, do you mean you didn't watch the actual last season or the last season with Kevin Spacey?
I missed the very last season he was on, and then the last season, of course,
because that's actually the last season. The final season that they threw together. I mean, if you get around to watching it, watch it.
It's all right.
But like, it just, like the GIF where it's the Bart Simpson throwing the "at least you tried" cake in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just pause it at the beginning where it says "at least you tried," because they did. Like, the people who worked on that show, they didn't deserve to have their job on that show not get completed. So they did the best they could under the crazy circumstances. But
however,
nobody brought up any peanut butter. That is a gift, sir. Yeah. Anyways,
however, I did finish The Sopranos finally this weekend.
I saw that.
Yes. Have you seen it before, Jim?
I have not.
It's worth a watch.
I'm not about to add it to my list of all the other bullshit I need to watch. But
I get it. It's like I'm on content overload right now. So
I mean, I got from the vacation, I got so behind on podcasts, I got behind on regular weekly TV content, and then goddamn being in Star Wars Galaxy Edge made me go, fuck, I really need to go back and dig into that universe and all the shit that I've missed over the last fucking decade. So like, I'm just going, and I'm not saying it, but like, because there was there was a point in like 2019 where on 3 count, I jokingly was like, man, I just need like a really good flu to get
God
caught up on all this.
That was good.
I
I need a
And
sick
then,
week.
and then I was unemployed for 18 months. So I'm not going to go
Wait,
ahead.
so this is your fault?
Well, I didn't go bite a bat in China. But
Who the hell knew that the 3 Count Thursday crew was the new
China.
Simpsons? Yeah. Speaking of the Simpsons,
so I'm not gonna. I don't know what power I have, so I'm not gonna like throw that back out in the universe. But like, I want to dig into, because I think I've only actually watched Rogue One. I don't think I've watched any of the other recent movies. I haven't watched The Mandalorian. I haven't watched like any of these other shows, and I fucking want to now because I fell back in love with Star Wars.
The Mandalorian needs to hold priority for you. Everything.
Yeah, yes.
So what have you actually watched?
There's some real the concerns you hear about a lot of the Star Wars shows, as much as it is to dismiss whiny ass Star Wars crybaby fans, has some depth to it.
Okay.
Jim, which movies have you actually watched?
What of the Star Wars stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I watched the original trilogy,
Original 3,
the second trilogy, and Rogue One.
K2SO for fucking president, bitches.
Rogue One is not part of the 9. It's like a sidebar of the 9, right? Rogue One, right?
Correct. If you do it in terms of timeline, it's
between 3 and 4, right?
Correct. Very
I
good.
think so. Yes.
There are 2 lines in the scroll crawl that spawned Rogue One the movie.
So I was looking on Disney Plus, and if you go into the Star Wars section of Disney Plus, I actually like the way that they do this. Like they have the movies listed in
Chronological
order of how they came out,
right?
But then they also have it where you can watch them in order chronologically.
Oh, okay, that's good. I mean,
so like you can see where the things fall, and like when I dive into the movie portion of what I need to get caught up on, like I'm not going to go back and watch all of the original 3 and the second 3 because I know what happened there, but like I may grab the movies I haven't seen from that timeline. Actually, we'll probably go back and just watch Rogue One again because I watched it one time and I haven't watched it since. So I may go back and absorb that one, but I'm going to grab them from that timeline just so I can put myself in that brain space.
One recommendation I will offer: when you watch Rogue One, immediately follow it by A New Hope and just do the first 15 minutes or whatever. But
sure.
It transitions right in. It's fucking tight. It's worth experiencing.
Nice. We'll do. But yeah, for me, that was just I remember leaving Hollywood Studios with my lightsaber that I built, and I looked at Dana and I'm like, I'm in big trouble because I
always label it the original 3, the next 3, and then the recent 3. I actually love the recent 3, to be honest with you.
You got to be fucking shitting me. You liked 7, 8, and
lagging a little bit, guys. Apologize.
Oh my god!
You're liking big time. There's not
like 8. I can see Jim liking it because it tries to be so woke it slaps you in the face with a goddamn encyclopedia. Like it tries way too hard.
Wait, what are we talking about?
How's this better?
Episode 8.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's not The Last Jedi. No, it is The Last Jedi is the final. No, Last Jedi is what I'm talking about. It's The Rise of Skywalker that's final. That one, the concept and the show running changed hands way too many times, and it shows.
Okay.
If they had left it alone, they might have gotten something out of it. And I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to draw from things from the fucking the video game. How am I blowing this? This is one of the best role-playing games I've ever played. It's
yeah, I know what you're talking about because I think it's the one I just actually started playing recently.
Yeah. I won't tell you the big hook on it. That's kind of stupid, but it's I think they pull elements of that and they're trying to do that. There's just too much they try to goddamn do. And like there's a moment in there where you think a major character might have died, or no, you think that mofo is dead, and then they cut and the character in question's okay. It's just very all over the think Spider-Man 3, Big Jim.
Well, okay, gotcha.
With
gotcha.
Venom, right? That's the one with Venom, right?
I get the reference. Okay.
That is the one where Topher Grace was just poorly cast as Eddie Brock. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed the recent 3 Star Wars movies. To be honest with you, I didn't like them. I didn't like them a lot.
Yeah, man, EJ Christian, we can
Not a fan. You weren't a fan of those?
They were fucking terrible.
All 3?
7 was all right.
Right.
It was incredibly redundant, but I knew why they had to do it that way, right?
I got a lot of complaints with Last Jedi. That part I got.
Knights of the Old Republic, Jim. That's it.
Yes.
KOTOR. That's my shit right there, by the way. Even the second one, people hate on it. It's all right.
It's all right.
But yeah, KOTOR is my jam, dude. That oh God. Anyways, sorry. But yeah, episode 7, I knew that it was like everything else previous to it because it kind of had to be.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to dismiss the legitimate point they make about Rey, learning the Force so quickly. I don't think that's a spoiler for Jim. I'm sure you've seen that at some point that somebody was.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I do love that Kylo Ren is basically an emo crybaby. That's a perfect landing for me, for somebody who's Vader's offspring and is under the shadow. Hopefully Bronny doesn't end up that after having LeBron James as a dad. But yeah, just the next 2 movies they're just terrible. I can't get too much into it without spoiling, so I won't, but let's just put it this way. When a major character dies and you can't tell if they just farted or what, that's a problem.
All right. Well, once I get around to those, I will give my thoughts on them.
It'll be funny. Be like, what is Kyle talking about? Oh my God, he's right.
There it is.
Are you okay, EJ Christian? Are you traumatized from a child dunking on you?
He looks lost. He looks confused. He looks like the van got driven into a quarry or something.
Is your volume working?
No, I'm not okay. This thing is fucking up.
Well,
it seems like a good time to wrap up the show, EJ.
I could pull one more out the sky since the WNBA started their season. It's up to you, buddy.
I mean, with him being 25 seconds behind us, I feel like that may not be the best.
So, Jim, where can we find you?
Yeah. EJ, we're gonna wrap up the show. But wait, he's going again.
Jesus Christ. This is God, why the fuck is he even on the panel? What are we doing here?
I know, right? Like, there's no point to this.
Should I blame you for this? Like, he's only a guest on my show.
Maybe. I mean, maybe it's the length of time. Maybe somebody at his internet service provider is just pinging the shit out of him because, like, you shouldn't be outside of a library in a security van for that long. So he's just shutting it down. I mean, it could also be the fact that he's still, yes, and I'm going to talk about him as if he's not here because let's be honest, he probably isn't, because he's still using a computer that was invented on Steve Jobs' second birthday.
There's a hamster running.
What's so fucked up though is that I only have internet issues probably once or twice a year, and every year is when us 3 literally do a show.
That's not true.
It happened last year too, also on the public content last year.
We haven't done a filed for content before.
I said last year, last May.
Did we really do one?
Yes, we did last May.
Shit, I don't remember that.
Let's close that shop here. Let's meet the Melbourne do this again over the summer. Definitely.
There we go. Yeah, we'll do it again before football season.
Absolutely. We got lots to talk about. So,
man, fuck.
Plug. Oh, Kyle, like this. Plug away.
That's what she said. Of course, I'm Kyle Nance, the student of the game. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads.
That's what she said.
Threads, the SOTG. Find me on Facebook as a student of the game. Check out my writings with the Black and Gold banneret the 3-point conversion and Jaguar report, as well as my workplace MBN covering the Orlando Magic. Well, okay, I was covering the Orlando Magic. They should probably be actually getting their butts kicked by the Celtics, but whatever. That's okay. And then, of course, check out the Duval Dive this weekend, Friday at 11, of course. Wednesday night at 9, the Student Game Podcast. This week in particular, we're looking over the NFL schedule. Already did a special edition of an NBA pod with fucking EJ Christian talking some damn hoop, which actually went pretty well. Jim, you'd be surprised how much he actually appears and acts like he wants to not just throw pass to the wall and make it stick like he does his power rankings on Tool Time. So, honor, joy, and privilege. Until next time, everyone. Class dismiss.
Wokeness.
Yeah, you can follow me at Big Jim Sports. Hit the link tree there. It has everything that I do. Take 3 Wrestling Podcast. How weird is it to hear me say that, EJ?
Not weird at all, actually.
After
it's mostly years when gone.
Yeah, it is. Discussions with a Nobody. I was hoping to maybe get one of those recorded. It's not going to happen because we went super long here, which is fine. Shut the fuck up. Eat my asshole.
Eat my asshole. That's disgusting. What would I do that for?
Jim.
My asshole.
So I hope to get one of those recorded in about the next week. Just kind of wrapping up. Like April 2024 was an all timer for me, so I'm gonna talk about that a little bit longer form. The Huddle Up podcast, that's been away because again, all of my focus went towards my month of April, which is absolutely insane. That's going to be kicking back up. Probably going to get some episodes recorded at the end of this month. That'll come out throughout June, and then we're 6 weeks from football season again. So it's going to get fucking crazy real quick. But 3CT, the show that never stops. Check that out. 10 years running. Just go to 3countthursday.com or at 3countthursday on all social medias. Yeah, that's about it. Like I said, if the easiest place to find it is on my Twitter, not X, because I'm not a fucking cop. Is hit the link tree right there.
I'm not a fucking
Kyle. Do you think he'll do a Discussion Nobody episode next week? Yes or no?
I do, because I think he's stoked to talk about Disney. By the way, Jim, if somebody sends you a direct message on the service formerly known as Twitter, is that a DMX?
No, it's not, because I don't recognize that letter. By the way, EJ, I can't believe I fucking sat here this whole time and you haven't said a goddamn word about my shirt.
It's nice. Mickey. Is that Mickey?
It is Mickey, and it's the Mickey hands doing the...
No. I did. I meant to comment several times and didn't because I was too busy ranting. So what I'll tell you is I will send you a direct message on Twitter, and then when you get it, X gonna give it to you. It'll be fine.
I like that. It was good. I also realized it's been 2 months since I've had peace and quiet in my life, since our boy Fiction is no longer in the building.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Fiction.
Well, yeah, it's been much quieter over here as well.
But yeah, he told me to die. So
he does that to everybody at some point, I feel like.
I mean, you look good for a dead guy. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I try. I'm just saying, it's been 2 months since that whole thing went down.
Be real.
And all I gotta say is, why did it take me so long to do what Kyle did 5-6 years ago? I don't know. Too nice a guy, I guess, for me. I guess. I don't know. Oh well. Fellas, we'll do this soon.
I mean, EJ, Kyle.
I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
Well, to be fair, though, you also had him hanging around too. Also, as for a little while as well. So,
I mean, here was the deal, man. I had an incident with him, where he said something very inappropriate to me.
No,
I confronted him and I told him, if you ever fucking do that again, I will block you and I will never hear from you again. And then he was generally good. I mean, again, he would be more like the fly that would buzz around my ear.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being an actual piece of shit to me until the very end. When he did end up blocking me as well, which
because of me.
Right. You know what I mean? Like it was like a collateral damage thing that I just didn't give a shit about. But like, he was annoying, but he didn't actually like cross a line with me again after I basically told him, don't fucking do that again, you dickhead. Until the very end when, yeah, like, you know, it's just, man, not even like just to him is there's far too many people that take just the simplest fucking little dumb things way too seriously. And it's like, what are you doing? Evaluate yourself, because like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's not that serious, bro.
It really is.
A fucking GIF is not that serious, bro. A meme is not that serious. Like,
A thumbs up, not that serious.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like none of it is that serious.
Okay.
Like, exactly. Like,
All I say was, look, I kept the classy at the end because you know what? I could have gone real fucking. I could have gone real heavy into him, and I decided
You
not to.
weren't gonna do shit, you punk ass bitch.
I could have gone heavy. Trust me, I could have gone mad.
You're a little bitch.
I was gonna go my black bag real quick, but we won't go there. I'll say, for all the shit, all the shit he said to me at the end, wish him well, wish him and his family well. But I don't need that, and I don't need that,
dude,
that element in my life. I don't need that.
The last thing that I think I actually said to him before he blocked me, was basically that, like, dude, none of this fucking shit matters to me.
Didn't you tell him to seek help?
Yeah. And like that apparently set him off more, because it was like I was I don't know, passing some sort of judgment on him, but I'm like, dude, if you're getting that worked up over memes and gifs and thumbs ups or like
about
emojis,
sports,
like on about podcasting and sports, we're like, dude, like, I mean, you look at not only the body of work between the three of us with each other, just this episode in and of itself, we have said far worse things to each other.
I just called EJ Christian a punk ass bitch.
Right. In the last 2 hours, we have said worse things to each other.
I said Jim would suck a dick for the cock. You know, what are we doing here?
I mean, again, it comes down to who you vibe with. It comes down to who do you have chemistry with. And to me, and we've done podcasting before. I've done podcasting through the years. We never had any chemistry. It's like, no.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of it though, too, is like, the three of us and the guys on my 3 Count show and the Take 3 guys and Huddle Up, like, we all know that within that circle and in the larger realm of like our sphere, we're not being serious.
Yeah, it's fucking
like
around, bro.
We're not, like, if like we make a smart ass comment, I will retort usually with some sort of meme or something. And we all know that that's who I am. Like, we know that that's part of the gag. If you are incapable of understanding that, even after I tell you that,
yeah,
and then you get so mad over it that you tell me to go to hell and that you wish somebody else dies.
Yeah,
like, you do need help. Like, I'm not, again, I'll go back to something I said like an hour and a half ago. I am not a doctor. But like, as somebody who's been in therapy for 17 years, like, I'm fairly certain you need help.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who it is. I am not going to wish a person dead. Like I know somewhere in a bigger sphere beyond my realm of understanding, that's not a good thing. That's just not really something you do. Like, yeah, it isn't, man. Like, so yeah, if you're doing that, you need help.
Something like that. So, but that's a nice little piece of quiet for the last 2 months. So that remind you guys.
It's gonna stay quiet. That's the best part.
Yeah,
it's gonna stay quiet.
He did me a favor.
Yeah.
So anyway, fellas, that was great as always.
Yeah, man.